In this week's Story Time, in-depth look at cloth diapers. So this is the last time that I'm going to say that next time I'm going to talk about something, because I just put myself into this like obligation hole, and so I was completely resistant to even talking about it, even though I fucking love cloth diapers. So this is really an advertisement for Diaper Kind. You're welcome. It's the company that I bought things from. So if you go into the world of cloth diapering, which I talked about briefly in my other episode, which was a rant about the wastefulness of regular diapers, you'll see that there's just tons of options, even though you would think, or I thought, that I would like be able to find like the final answer. No, you're gonna find 100 million opinions. So after sorting through tons of websites for months during pregnancy, and a lot of the advice was like, we recommend buying a few different types and then seeing what works best. I'm like, what? Like, I was wise enough to know that I was not going to be into experimenting different systems in addition to learning everything about this tiny new little human being and how my entire life was. It's like, this is not feasible advice. So I found a class that I didn't realize was a promotion for the service, but I found a class that kind of broke it down. So I went with it. It's called Diaper Kind. They deliver all over the US. And I have to say, I very much drank the Kool-Aid. And me and the father of the baby left the class like, this makes sense, fun. Like, even he was on board, which was funny. Okay, so in depth. Cloth diapers, the ones I have, are made of 100% cotton, and there are 100 million different types. But what I like about this, oh, is there a little piece missing? There is, but too bad. It's probably somewhere on the counter. Anyways, let me go get it. Okay, I'm back. So this is a very important piece. Okay, so these are called PREFOLDS. Okay, I forget the name, but basically this is what it looks like. And this is like the butt of the baby, and you wrap it up like this and like this and like this. What I like about this one compared to other ideas is that some of them are just strips like this that you stick inside a cover. It's basically any cloth diaper is gonna have a cover and something that goes inside that gets wet. And this is actually a different kind of cover, which is like a wool cover, which I'm gonna talk about. So some of them are like this and you stuff it inside. What I heard from the Diaper Kind people, who are, by the way, yes, also promoting the services, but they actually seem completely honest. So that's why I drank the Kool-Aid. They say that these oftentimes like are annoying to, like, you have to stuff them into the diapers sometimes, or because they don't cover the sides of the little baby. So it doesn't cover the sides, you might have like leakage from the side. And then another criticism that they had of other methods other than the one they sell is that if there are some cloth diapers that basically function like a regular diaper, which is like you remove it, you put the whole thing in the wash. So those are basically this with something this, but it's like stuck together. So you're just like, nah, 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 and you have like 40 of them or whatever. And what they said is not great about it is that this material kind of gets stuck. Like, it doesn't allow for really good cleaning to happen between these two surfaces, which seemed to make sense to me. Since then, I do know a girl who has that, and she's like, it's fine. Like, it doesn't make a difference. So, to each their own. So you take this, you wrap it like this, and you close it up with this. It's called a snappy. And it's like super friendly and looks deadly, and I have yet to injure the baby with it, but I feel like it's a matter of time when something happens, but it hasn't so far, so I'm hopeful. And you can stretch it out when it gets too tight. They told me that you can stretch it out if it gets too tight. Anyways, so the baby gets diaper on, maybe hours later, like 3-5 hours later, I change him, and it's very wet, but like it never soaks through, ever. The only time it soaks through is like what you want to ensure is that this is basically completely covered by the cover, completely covered. So if there's anything that's popping out like this, that's gonna be wet and it's gonna touch other stuff and it's gonna be wet too. So like you wanna ensure that. It took me a while to find what covers worked best, and that was pretty interesting because that was definitely a learning curve. So I'll post actually the ones that are my preferred ones for the night, because at night the pee is there for so long and the poo and whatnot. You want like a very thick kind of thing to contain not only smell, because actually smell is very well contained, but some smell and also just like all that liquid. And for some reason, this particular brand, which is called Buttons Diapers, works really well. So in washing them is also very easy. You put them in a bag called a wet bag with a lid. So it's like either it's basically a garbage pail for diapers, and you leave it there for a few days, and it doesn't smell because you have like, it's covered and everything. And then when it finishes, if you don't have home laundering, don't do this. You can, and there's like the diaper kind, and other companies I'm sure have like laundering service, so you can like put your diapers basically on the street and they come pick it up and drop it off. And from what I understand, that adds up to the same as if you were to buy disposable diapers, but obviously without the environmental impact, negative environmental impact. But if you want to do it at home, which you know we can, thank God, you just stick it in the machine and stick it in the machine, and you run it through one quick cycle. And what they said is that one quick cycle is actually less water than the flush of a toilet. I don't know if that's true, but she sounds like she knows what she's talking about, so I'm repeating it. Anyways, that's all just to get off like this top surface. And then you do a deep wash with like detergent, chlorine if you want, a little bit. So there's like instructions, they have a very like, and there's routines all over the internet of like, what's the best routine to wash your diapers? And you would see, if you go into this, you'll see like so much conversation about it. Diaper Kind, again, has their own laundry detergent. I actually have used other detergents and it has not been as good as theirs. So I do vouch for that very strongly. It's so strong actually that if I put regular clothes in it, it kind of doesn't, it's not good for them.